The Seed Studio water cooling kit for the Raspberry Pi 5. Is it a novelty item or a useful cooling solution? Let's unbox one and take a look. On the unassuming cardboard box you'll find a label with details. And opening it up we find protective foam packaging, a full color printed manual with a getting started and installation guide, plus very thorough product and thermal details. Now, let's take the radiator and pump section out. This is the part that does the actual cooling. On the back you'll find a radiator reminiscent of what cools your car engine, and on the front a fan. And you can see the water container. There's also a funnel for filling up. Next up is what they call the ice pump and its thermal pads. This is the part that will get mounted on the Raspberry Pi itself. You'll note two pipes coming out of it, one for the water inlet from the cooling system and one for the outlet to send water back to it. The system comes with a 12 volt 2 amp power supply, which is slightly unwieldy since you won't be able to power the pump from the Raspberry Pi itself. Make provision for an extra wall outlet. While the ice pump goes on top of the Raspberry Pi, thermally connecting to the 5 hotspot chips on the Pi via the included thermal pads, there's also a bottom heat sink with its own thermal pad which goes underneath the Raspberry Pi. It comes with an Allen key and the necessary hex screws to mount it to the Pi and ice pump. Of course, to move the water around there are two transparent pipes to connect the inlet and outlet water. Now, let's take a look at these instructions and get the thing up and running. We'll start by bringing our Raspberry Pi into the picture here and installing these 5 thermal pads. There were 7 spare pads left over when I was done, not sure why I'd ever need them. Remove the plastic that protects the mild adhesive and just stick them down onto the chips. You'll end up with something that looks like this. Next, grab the blue thermal pad and stick it to the bottom heatsink. As I said, it is a mild adhesive, so it might move around a bit as you're trying to stick it down. So, the ice pump goes on top and the heatsink underneath. Let's get those 4 hex screws in. They actually connect to the thermal parts of the ice pump, so the heat from the bottom is also distributed to the water cooler. Once that's done, we'll grab the 2 silicone hoses and pipe it all up. The 2 are identical, so it makes no difference which goes where. The pipes are quite stiff, yet lightweight without water, so the layout won't be quite like what's pictured in the manual. Now it's time to add some distilled water to the water reservoir. I was hoping not to have to use the funnel, but the hole at the top of the reservoir is quite small. You'll see the water running into the pipes immediately. Don't worry too much about air bubbles, they'll be cleared out once we switched on. Now it's too full, so have a cloth handy. Okay, time to power up. The connector puzzled me for a second. I had to push it in further. Ah, that's a nice pleasant bubbling sound along with the fan. And if you're 12, you'll love the RGB lighting. As you see, the air bubbles have been consolidated. Time to fill up again. Close up the top and turn back on. Now, let's bring out the rest of the Raspberry Pi 5 system and make sure it's working. We'll check the CPU temperature while we're at it. Well, it's running. And after a few minutes, check the temperature from the terminal. 26.3. Definitely cooler than mine normally runs. This is sure to make a difference when you're running CPU intensive applications on the Raspberry Pi, but that's not something I often do. My needs are met with a simple active cooler and heatsink. But I've got to say, if you need this for intensive tasks, it looks cool, and you've certainly got a conversation starter right there.